Hey, what's happening? Tim with Nomad Trading. What's up, guys? Oh, gonna do a little live streaming this morning. Let me see what's going on in here. Make sure I got all this stuff set up. Hopefully my computer won't get bogged down like last time I attempted to do this. The number one stock I'm watching this morning is CLOV. Already traded it up $258 and some change so far this morning, pre-market. That's the one that I'm watching out of the gate. Probably the number one mover and the one with the most eyes on it. Already traded 27 million shares. It was a big mover yesterday, and then this morning it's really ramped up its run. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. Sorry. it's just gone a lot steeper. So it had kind of more of a gradual run yesterday, and then this morning, out of the gate, it's already jumped up considerably more. Yesterday, it took a lot more time to get up to where this morning it's pretty much already made almost that same amount of move. So things are heating up in Clove Land. Make sure if you're joining me, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you have not already. I appreciate it very much. The YouTube algorithm appreciates it. Thank you so much. Push this out to as many people as possible. That would be awesome. Don't forget to say what's up in the chat. Tell me what you're looking at, what you guys are watching. If you got anything that's on your radar that I'm not seeing, make sure you throw that in the chat so we can check it out. But anyway, so far, somewhat of a quiet morning, but I've been watching CLOV. Let's see over here. In my other account, let me look at it here. Bear with me. Okay. So yeah, there we go. I'm watching BB for a short up into the 1660s, which is kind of about where it is now. And then above that, I might switch that to a long bias. So we'll kind of see what it does. It's got, let's look at it over here. So it's moving up nicely. Might actually have to switch long because if you look at the 1 minute, pretty good run up right here. On the daily chart down here, that's kind of where we were going to start seeing the resistance was right in that 1670 or so area. Yesterday's highs, and then as well as on the daily chart. So that's kind of the area to watch. If it breaks past that, which it looks like it may, then we may see it continue to run. So that's another one I'm watching at the moment. It had a big day yesterday with crazy volume. Today, not as much volume so far, but like I said, making a big move up. So we'll see what happens. Can it keep going here, or will it be a decent short? We'll just have to wait and see. So far right now, like I said, getting rejected up in that 1670 area. That's where you kind of had to watch it. And so far getting rejected, but that doesn't mean it won't keep going. It very likely may pull back a bit and then continue on up. So we'll have to wait and see. But that was the area that I was watching on the daily chart. And if you're new to trading, brand new to this stuff, guys, you can see that it's not just taking darts and throwing them at a board. I could, the way I was able to predict where it might get stopped out at up here was by the previous areas that it found resistance yesterday and on the daily chart down here. So that's how we knew those were the areas to watch. Now we'll see what happens. It is pre-market, so it's got a better shot to break through pre-market, in my opinion, than it does once the market opens and shorts start piling on. So this could be the chance for BB to really get going. If it can get above those levels here pre-market, it may run pretty big today. We'll just have to wait and see. But if there were a lot of shorts looking at this right now, they'd be piling on in this area. But pre-market, a lot of times you don't have the shorts, you don't have the volume, so stocks can run pre-market and after hours a lot farther than they would during normal hours. So we'll wait and see what happens. So far, kind of getting stuffed there, but yeah, so that's kind of on my radar there. Watching that one, seeing what it can do. Back to CLOV. This one here, this is the one, like I said, I'm up almost 260 on that this morning pre-market already. But now it's kind of flatlining, just moving sideways. So need to see it curl and get above probably right around 1645. You know, we'll want to see it get past these highs right here before it would start getting interesting and perking up. You know, get past this blue line, which is the 50 moving average, get past that 1645 area, and probably the half dollar, the 1650 mark. And then after that, that would be a point at which I'd be watching that one as well. Maybe we can see it get back up there. A lot of these may be ones that we're going to kind of watch and not do too much with until after the bell rings, because it becomes very risky to hold through the bell a lot of the time. And it looks like at this point BB might be trying to go, so that's we're going to keep an eye on that. I don't know why it keeps doing that when I'm clicking on it, but whatever. Anyway, let me check back over here. See what you all are watching. And remember, during pre-market and post-market, your stops will not work, so that makes it a little bit more dangerous if you're trading pre-market. If you're brand new to trading, keep an eye on that. That will get you. Let me see what we got here. Okay, we got a couple of people in here. Sorry, I'm just clicking back and forth. Got a couple different screens here with several stocks I'm watching, so it's hard to keep up with all that. What's going on in the chat? Your CMAG analysis was good. Searching for a good broker to start my trading journey. You're very welcome. Appreciate the kind words on that. Make sure, like I said a minute ago, if you're watching this, make sure you hit the like, subscribe if you have not already, and comment in the chat anything that you're watching. Right now, I'm mainly watching BB and CLOV. There's a couple other movers. BIIB I was watching, but that one I felt like could maybe curl because of the look, we got a price target range raised to 450 at Oppenheimer. It had crazy big news yesterday. Let's see, what was it? Something about Alzheimer. Yeah, 6-year high after Alzheimer drug gets FDA. Okay, so it's one of the only drugs that I'm aware of to be an Alzheimer drug that gets FDA approval. So that's pretty big news. That's why it's up so big. I may take a position on that, just a small one, just to see, because I wouldn't be surprised to see that curl and continue up just because of the fact that it's a pretty rare scenario. So I'm watching that one as well. Thanks for the like. I appreciate the like. Those of you watching, we got, let's see, Coin was another one I'm watching just because that thing's really beaten down. I feel like it could bounce. I've got a few shares of that in my longer term portfolio. AMC was another one. A lot of people are watching that. So far, kind of sideways. It kind of looks like BB on the daily chart, where we're getting up to multi-day possible resistance areas. So with that, and with yesterday's tops in that area, that's one to watch, but not something I'm looking to buy right now because of those levels of resistance. Let's see, Tesla was gapping up and moving. Yeah, looking a little better, showing signs of life with Tesla. What else we got? SONM. This one was a big gap up, was kind of fading down, but I'm keeping an eye on it just because it was one of the top gappers. But again, CLOV is probably the top one to watch right now. And it's a little bit more risky now because I've seen it several times look like it's going to curl and pop up, and then it ends up selling off, as you can see right here on the 1 minute chart. And then again up here, but a couple times it's tested that 1650, 1655 area and then sold back down. So not ideal. I would rather see it curl and then, you know, show signs of strength and go ahead and head back up towards highs, not get stuffed down. So not ideal, but we'll see. It may be one that we have to watch until open. Might just get some sideways action or some kind of fading action perhaps until open, and then when the volume comes in it could rocket up, or it could be one that ends up drifting higher and then plummeting at open. And that's why I say that it's very risky to hold through open. If you're brand new to this, I definitely wouldn't be holding large positions as a day trader through the opening bell. We are about, let's see, 53 minutes or so from the opening bell. So we've got plenty of time. We'll see what happens. It's just looking weaker. If I was going to put a bet on it right now, I would say that it's not going to curl back up to highs during pre-market, but you never know. We'll see. I hope it does. That's the one that I'm watching closest today, so it's the one I'd really like to see get back up to highs. Let's see what else do we got going on here. There's BB that I was watching, so it essentially did get kind of stuffed up in those areas. That's another one that we may be watching till open. If it can hang around up here, I wouldn't be surprised if at open it ends up blasting through and making new highs. Have to wait and see. If you're watching and you're brand new to my channel, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and say what's up in the chat. Let me know what you're watching, if you got some other stocks that you're watching. If you're looking for a free scanner, free stock scanner, I've got that in the description, and it looks like this. So this is what I use. It's a free stock scanner. I loved E-Trade's stock scanner, but unfortunately they decided to get rid of that. So I didn't want to pay for one of the expensive scanners. There's some great scanners out there, but most of them cost a decent amount of money, whereas this Charts Watcher is free. So can't beat that. And then you can see here are the ones that are gapping up, the biggest gappers. And then what I typically do is just kind of plug those into my E-Trade platform or my CMEG platform and see if I can find a good entry. Let's see what we got here. Moving stuff around. Not too active in the chat today on the old YouTube. Seems like the volume is not as heavy in the market either, so people might not be as eager to trade today for some reason. Let's see what the overall market creeping up nicely. This is SPY. the S&P 500 ETF, so it's a pretty good gauge of what the overall market's doing. It's what I like to keep an eye on to see what the market's doing. It looks like we may be hitting new highs. Are we hitting new highs? Yeah, we may be hitting all new highs right now as we speak today, so that's awesome. That's what we like to see. New highs is good. It means that we can get the momentum world going, supercharged and flying again. Let's see what we got here. Let's type in some of these other ones and see what we got. Clove, we've already been watching. Again, like I said, it looks more like a fade at the moment, but we'll see. It might just be one to watch until open. WEN is another one that's popping up on here. Look at that. That one's flying. Okay. Started out this morning at 23.30 and we're up all the way to almost 29. So that's a good one. That's Wendy's. I didn't even realize that was Wendy's. Hey, that's Wendy's. I like their chicken nuggets. I like the burgers. As far as fast food goes, Wendy's is a pretty solid fast food place. It only makes sense that their stock would go up today. I'm sure they got maybe, let's see what the news is. There's some kind of news. Queue up for new Wendy's as American fast food invades UK. Yeah, I don't really know. Looks like their earnings was quite a ways back, so I don't really know why that's up so much. It's not showing a very good catalyst on E-Trade that would explain why it would be up almost 30%, but whatever. We'll take it. Let's see what we got here. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right as well. Let me know if you cannot. Make sure you hit the like button, the thumbs up, all that wonderful stuff if you're listening. And let me know in the chat what you're watching. Thumbs up for Tennessee, watching, scanning right now along with you. Awesome. Let's see what we got. Going back to my other platform here. Let's see. When? Don't know what's up with Wendy's being up so much. Let's see what other stocks were we watching here. Trying to move some stuff around over here, so bear with me. Bear with me. We got, let's see, PDSB. PESB. Oh, that one, not too interested in that one at this time, because as you can see over here on the daily chart, we got all kinds of candles and possible resistance areas, and we have a downtrend since yesterday, so popping up, which is good, and getting kind of above this area. Maybe it curls from here, we'll see, but not real high on my watch list at the moment. NEXT next. That was another one that was gapping up, but as far as the chart today goes, this is the 1 minute you're looking at over here. Nothing too exciting. It did gap up, but it's just kind of making a bit of a rainbow or a little bit of an arch, kind of a fade. Not anything too exciting at the moment. Just something to watch. CYRN. Let's see what this one's got. So this one was moving after hours yesterday, and it looks like this morning somewhat holding its gains. Maybe if it can get over 82 cents, it might curl back up. Typically, I'm not a big fan of the stocks that are under $1. I don't trade them all that often, so don't know that I'll do much with that. Let's see. AYTU. This was a gap up and fade, so yeah, that one also not exciting. It's just basically gapped up and then done nothing but faded back down, so not real high on the watch list on that one. LEDS, let's see, this is one that look at the daily chart on that. This thing was down at like $3 only. Let's see, when was this? Back in the beginning of May, we were at like $3, and now we're at almost 28. So that thing has had some crazy big days. One to definitely watch, but it's got lots of long wicks, so it's kind of unpredictable. And as you can see yesterday, this is yesterday's move here. So we got some big moves, but then it gives a lot of it back. Goes all the way up here to 31.50, but then comes all the way back down to under 24. So that's one to watch. And as you can see, it kind of gapped up and then curling. So definitely one to watch. That one's one that can get pretty hot pretty quick. So we will watch that. Keep an eye on that. LOTZ. I'm not sure if I did that one or not. Yeah, that one. So that one's a gap up, and it's continuing on. One to watch. If we look at the daily chart, though, we're coming up on possible resistance. As you can see, if you're brand new to stock trading, it's not just throwing darts at a board. You can somewhat predict some of these things. It's kind of about probabilities and predictions. So as you can see, where this has stopped out so far, the top of that candle just so happens to be the bottom of these candles here and this candle here. So the previous support is acting as resistance as we're coming back up. So we got to kind of break through that before we can keep climbing. One to watch maybe, but again, not all that exciting from the daily chart standpoint. So as of right now, mainly going to be on the CLOV. That's the top one to watch. And oh no, she's kind of failing right now at the moment. It's not what I want to see. Don't do it, Clove. No. Stay strong. I want this thing to be my strong crazy stock of the day that goes to, you know, $30. So I don't want it to die here. I want it to hold these levels at least until open, and then maybe we can get it to go. What we'll be watching at that point, we're already past, let's see, are we, yeah, if we look at this, the high of this candle over here, it's basically around 1685 or so. So that's the level that we're watching, which is kind of almost the same as our highs from this morning pre-market. So that's the level that we're going to be watching. Let's zoom out a bit and see if we got any other issues all ahead. It looks like once it gets over 1750, it's clear blue sky above that. So those are kind of the areas to watch. We're going to be watching the 1680s, the 17 area, and then up to 1750. And if it gets beyond that, then the sky's the limit. So that's kind of what we're watching in the areas that we're watching. If, and that is assuming that it does hold up somewhat until open, and then maybe get some volume and hopefully take off like a rocket. We'll see. What else we got here? Let's see. Got anybody in the old chat here? Jamie's here. Made some money on CLOV long yesterday. Awesome. I put on some non-copyright music because it gets boring just sitting here talking to myself. So, and it's pretty terrible, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see if I can find something else, perhaps. Maybe not. It's hard to find decent copyright free music so you don't get your stuff claimed. But it gets boring just sitting here in silence. I need music. Need music in my life. Let's see. Okay. We got a like on there. Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. If you're watching this, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Trying to get this seen by as many people as possible. And any questions you have or whatever, put them in the chat. I love to help people out with what I know. I don't claim to be some stock trading guru millionaire, but I might know more than you if you're just starting out. So I'm happy to help out with any questions anybody has. And also you can help me out and put anything in the chat that you see that's moving that I'm not watching, and we can help each other out. My goal used to be 100 a day. Now I bumped my goal up to 300 a day. So I try to make 300 a day. Everybody that stock trades knows that goals are really, it's pretty. you might have a big loss that day, or you might have a day that you fly past your goal. It's pretty hard to set any kind of real goals, but I still like to. It's good to have goals, so I would like to make $300 a day every day. That's my new goal. I somewhat consistently was hitting the $100 a day goal for a while, so I thought I would bump that up to 300. So that's my new challenge. I'm at 258 on the day, so little ways to go, but we got a lot of trading left today. Still got 38 minutes left until the opening bell, and then we'll see what pops up on the scanner at that point. Thanks for watching. Those of you, I see we got a few people watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the like. Appreciate the thumbs up and all that. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's a beautiful day here in the Midwest. Where are you guys at? Jamie, Muhammad, where are you guys at? You guys around the States here? Somewhere else? I am in the Midwest. Nice and sunny out today. I think there's a chance for storms later, but that's just the way it goes in the spring and summer around here. Is she gonna curl up? CLOV, come on now. It did hold that level. That could have been a possible entry point there when it held that level if I wasn't blabbing. That's the downside to trying to stream, is that I'm not a phenomenal trader. So when I start talking and blabbing on streaming on here, it takes away from my trading focus and I end up missing trades. When it held this level, see how it kind of formed somewhat of a base right here, then popped up, came back down, and then it held it again. So when it held that and started to pop up, that could have been a possible entry there, and then you're just kind of risking off of that level there. So I like that trade because it's a fairly well-defined risk. I would like it a lot more if we were after the opening bell. You can't set stops in pre-market, at least not on any platform that I've ever had. So that's not ideal. I much prefer to be able to set stops whenever I'm trading. So especially on E-Trade. Anybody that trades with E-Trade, you're close to Knoxville. I'm in Missouri. I was just down through Tennessee this week. Well, what is today? Tuesday? So I was through there over the weekend. I took a week and spent a week down there in Florida, and we drove so that way we could spend a day in Nashville and a day in Atlanta, and I like driving personally. I like flying also, but I also enjoy driving and being able to just when you work from home, you can and you're trading on your laptop. One of the wonderful things about trading is that you can trade from anywhere. So it's kind of cool to have the kids out of school and just be able to travel and drive. Hey, let's spend a day in Nashville and get a hotel there, and then move on to a different city. And then we spent a week down right on the beach on Anna Maria Island in Florida, which is one of my favorite places. Anna Maria Island in Florida. If you've never been there, you should check it out. The beaches are absolutely gorgeous. It's a tiny little island, but it's just beautiful, and in my opinion, some of the best beaches in the United States. I love it there. I've been there many times. I love going down there. So check it out if you haven't already. We stayed at the Bali High Resort, which is right on the beach. So you walk out your door and you're on the beach. And to me, that's like heaven. I love it there. When I make my trading millions, I'll buy me a house down there on Anna Maria Island, right on the water. Goals. When I go from my $300 a day goal to my $20,000 a day goal, when I can afford to get me a house on Anna Maria Island, that'll be a happy day. Let's see what else we got going on. Anything else moving? How did our BB look? Did BB take off and I missed it because I was blabbing? I hope not. What happened with that? No, just kind of consolidating there. It might take off. So far it's bumped up and then sold off. Bumped up and sold off. So we'll see what happens with that. Is it going to keep going? We shall see. Thanks for the thumbs up, the like. Appreciate it. We've had quite a few playbacks also. So thanks for joining us. Market is going to be opening up in 33 minutes. If you guys see anything that I'm not seeing, let me know. Looks like we might have had a couple other stocks pop up on the gainers. Let's see. I know that there is a market movers. I just don't think it's very good. Let's see. I don't use E-Trade anymore for this stuff, but maybe I should. Let's link it up. Let's see what happens here. Link one, RMED. Cool. Yeah. That's the upside. I loved E-Trade's scanner. Those of you, if anybody here trades with E-Trade or used to trade with E-Trade, they had a badass scanner. I loved their scanner. It was customizable. It was fantastic, and I loved it. And you'd link it up with your charts, and it was just, in my opinion, it's my favorite. E-Trade's my favorite broker as far as charting goes. I like their charts the best, the classic charts, and I love their scanner. But they got rid of it. So now I have to use outside scanners. It's really annoying. But anyway, I loved having everything linked up, and you just click on it and you got your news down here and your level 2, all your different charts. And I had my scanner going, so it was just very handy. RMED, yeah, not really doing much. These are, looks like a bunch of very sparsely traded stocks. GOED. That's one I've been watching. I remember watching that one yesterday, GOED. But yeah, daily chart looks pretty terrible. What else we got? Yeah, none of those are really exciting. What else we got? The bulletin board stocks here. NASDAQ. NEXT, we already talked about that one, but it is moving up, so that might be one to watch. It's got possible resistance up here in the upper 4s, so that's something to be keeping an eye on. BIIB I talked about already. Let's see. UONE is always exciting. This is always one to watch. Look at this move over here where we went from whatever it was, under a dollar, I think, at one point to 50. What was the high? 55, 54, $54. Absolute insanity over there. And then it came all the way back down, and now we're curling up. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on. I don't know. If you look at the RSI, we're definitely overbought. I don't know. It's one to watch, but I have a hard time buying it up here when I feel like it's overbought. Maybe. We'll see. It's one to keep an eye on. CLOV, of course, we're watching. And it's pretty much making me look like I know what I'm talking about by moving sideways. That's kind of what I thought back in here when we were talking about it earlier, that it would just probably move somewhat sideways until open or a little bit before open, and then we'll see which way it goes. Is it going to pop up or is it going to sell off? If I was a betting man, I would say it's going to sell off. It seems somewhat heavy, but we'll see. I hope not. I hope that it flies and we get some really good action on that one. But we'll just have to wait and see. What else we got? VCNX. I think that was one from yesterday. Yeah, that was one from yesterday that was moving. A lot of times also, by the way, just while I'm thinking about it and seeing it here, with the stock market, if you're new to trading, and a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about is geared toward people that are newer to trading, because I don't consider myself to be a stock guru. I don't make millions of dollars. So I'm not on that level where if you're an experienced trader who's making tons of money, you don't need to be watching my channel. I gear things more towards people that are just starting out. So that being said, things in the stock market a lot of times happen in threes. So a lot of times you'll see like this would be move number 1, move number 2, move number 3, and then fail back down. So you'll see that if you just watch, if you're brand new to trading and you're just watching charts. Many times you'll see different patterns and things repeat, and for some reason, I don't know what the reasoning is, but for some reason a lot of times it happens in threes, where you'll see 3 of the same move or 3 of the same pattern repeating, and then it will fail after the 3rd time. So something to watch out for if you're thinking about buying this stock up here, say yesterday. You might have that in the back of your mind that this is kind of the 3rd leg of the move, so maybe I don't want to be buying it up here where it's overbought on the RSI and we're on the 3rd move. There's something that might save you from buying the top of a stock. You never want to be in that position. What else we got? ATOS was one yesterday. I remember looking at that. Looks like just kind of choppy today. Had some moves down, and then now it's moving up, but pretty light volume. 1.6 million shares, so not completely light, but lighter than I would like. Let's see what else we got. PRTA, no. USCR, no. EXFO. This one was yesterday. Gapped way up. I'm assuming it was some kind of a buyout or something. Usually that's the chart that you see when you have like a buyout or something. Yep, exactly. Founders buyout offer. If you see a chart that looks like this, it's almost always a buyout, because the buyout will have an exact price, so the stock will instantly jump up to the buyout price or around that, and then it will pretty much stay there for a little while. So that's what that chart tells you if you ever see it. It's probably a buyout. Oh, BB, watching you, BB, watching you. Seeing what you're trying to do here. You're going to move up, you're going to move down. What are you going to do? Since my CLOV is not as exciting as I would like, BB might be one to watch. It did trade like 100 and some million shares, I think. Let me look back and see. Just checking on this. This one's still kind of moving sideways as expected. So yeah, this one traded, what, yesterday? 197 million shares, so almost 200 million shares. So it had tons of volume yesterday. Let's zoom in just a hair here, just a little bit. Zoom in just a hair. Let's see what we got. And I am up 258 on the day, so I'm not going to be too aggressive. Like I said, my goal is $300 a day, so don't want to screw that up and go from up 258 to break even or down. So that means looking for more solid setups, you know, taking less risks and looking for decent setups before I take a trade. Something I can feel confident in. So Jamie is in the chat again. What's up? Let's see. I started in February, found your channel. It's been a big help. I'm glad I can help. Definitely let me know if there's anything else I can do or if you have any questions or whatever. I know how daunting it is to start trading. It's pretty overwhelming when you first start trading. And I still, like, now looking at this stuff, it just looks like, you know, once you know what you're looking at, it's no big deal. But when you first start out, if I have somebody just walk in my office in here and they've never traded before and they'll glance at this and just, oh wow, you know, I wouldn't even know where to start. What is all that? That's crazy looking. And it kind of is crazy looking, but it's actually not that complicated. Being a profitable trader, now that is complicated and extremely difficult, but learning the basics and stuff is not too bad. It just takes time. BB still hanging around that area that I was talking about. It would find resistance. That's where, so far, still hanging around there. We'll see what it can do. Let's see if we zoom out what we see here. Yeah, so zoom in just a little bit more. Yeah, so it is kind of breaking out because we had kind of a triple top. You got this top here, this top here, this top here, so kind of a triple top. Now we're kind of breaking above that, so we're likely going to head towards this 730 to 1730 to 1750 range will be the next area of possible resistance, assuming it continues up. We are coming closer and closer to the dreaded open, so we'll see what happens. Would not be surprised if this flushes it open, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it rips up, so we'll see. It could kind of go either way. It definitely had quite a bit of volume up here, so you had quite a bit of people that were underwater on it from this day that are going to be looking to get out as the stock moves up, and you're going to have people, it's easy to borrow, so you're going to have people jumping on it on the short side. So we'll see what happens, but it could go either way. Right now it looks like it's starting to possibly break out above, so that's good. Let's see what happens here. I got this silly background music going on here. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not, but dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Thanks for the like. We got a couple of lonely likes here, it looks like. Thank you so much for that, the thumbs up. I appreciate that very much. Got a few of you viewing at the moment. Don't be afraid to say what's up in the chat or talk about what you're watching. Getting closer and closer to the bell. Let's see what kind of real action gets going then. Oh, let's see here. Almost looks like there's a wall there or something at the 1688 area. I can't take this music. I'm looking for some other kind of music here. Don't know why we have to have the terrible copyright issues. I just want to be able to play music, in the background. But it's just not very good copyright-free music. I don't even know if you guys can hear the music or not, but I can. I get bored just sitting here with nothing but silence. I like to have something going on in the background. And it has to be copyright free for old YouTube, so unfortunately. Let's see what we got with BB here. Switch over, look at something else. CLOV. This one could be, it could curl. It really could. I'm liking so far, it is holding up. That's what I like to see. When we get closer to the opening bell, that's when we'll really see. I may even take a small position here just because it is curling up, but it's got to prove itself to me. So far, every time it kind of curls up and looks like it's going to make a move to curl, it sells back off. So we have formed somewhat of a base, which is good, but like I said, it seems heavy. That's a term I like to use anyway. It feels heavy, meaning that every time it kind of grinds its way up, then we'll have a red candle that kind of wipes those gains out. So it doesn't really get ahead. And of course, we're looking at, this is several days. This run started all the way down here under $7. So if you think about that, we're up, almost $10 a share within the last week or two. So that is probably why. When you have that kind of a run, sometimes it starts getting pretty heavy up in that area, especially when you get near possible resistance like we have on the daily chart. So it's not really surprising that we're having that situation, but hopefully we get enough volume to push through it and it can really break out above 1750. I think that's where I said it was. It's nothing but blue sky above that, so I'd love to see it get over that to where it just squeezes up like crazy. Let's see what the float is on it. Float's 408 million, so that's not what I was hoping to see. 408 million share float, definitely not what I was hoping to see. It's a lot bigger than I was hoping. Definitely want to see a smaller float. But it is what it is. Let's see here. Seems like the hot range right now is kind of in the $15, $16 range. There's a lot of stocks in that area that seem to be moving lately. Where's our pal Tesla at? There's OCGN, ACB, TRCH. There she is. There's Tesla. I knew I had a screen with Tesla on it. This was kind of my trend line on Tesla. Was very sad when it broke that. I do own some. Why can't I click on you? I do have some Tesla. I think I have about 20 shares of it in one account right now. And yeah, it broke that trend line, and I should have sold it. That was the plan. This is what happens when you don't stick to your plan, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to trading. One good piece of advice is to have a plan for every trade that you take, whether it's a scalp or a swing trade or an investment plan or whatever. You always want to have some kind of plan, and my plan on Tesla was to buy this and I was buying it on this pullback here, and then I thought for sure it would hold this overall trend line because it's bounced off it before. It's kind of held it for all the way since for over a year. So I thought, hey, it's going to hold it again, probably bounce off that and head back up. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to sell it. But what did I do? I did not sell it. I didn't stick to my plan, and that's where you get in trouble. So I had to hold through some downside. I didn't have to. I could have cut it, but Tesla is one of those companies that I believe in long term, so not afraid to hold that one. If it was any other stock or one of these low float penny type stocks, I would have cut it and took the loss. But on this, I like trading Tesla. I trade it quite a bit as a swing trade, and I feel like pretty confident that it will end up recovering at some point. It's one of those stocks that I don't mind holding it long term. I don't mind it as a swing. I don't mind it as a long term stock because it's, in my opinion, a really solid company that has a lot of potential for growth in the future, even though they're already priced, at the moon, but still. Let's see, CLOV kind of curling still. We're back above that 50 moving average. That's a good sign. And like I said, we're still moving sideways, but we're holding strong. My gut tells me this thing's going to dump at open, but we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that when it gets to be open that she flies, but we'll see. What else do we got moving and grooving? If you're watching this, make sure you hit the thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that, my friends. I'm going to check my messages since we don't have too many people in the room right now, and we're not up to the opening bell yet. Check some of my messages here, get back to some of my trading buddies that are talking trading in here in my little signal chat group here. How many of you know this? Change anything? Okay. CCIV is apparently up. One of my buddies just told me so. Oh man, we got CLOV starting to peak up here, so we'll take a position on that perhaps here. Let's see where the breakout area is, 1654, so I'd really like to get it on a little bit of a quick pullback if I could. Yeah, there we go. We probably got filled on that. Did we? No, I don't know because that thing's not working like it's supposed to. Great. Definitely annoying. Yeah, so okay, that did work. Got 250 shares of that. And that's not what we want to see as a rejection right away. Not what we want to see at all. That's where you got to be careful. And I did just jump out of that and took a loss, unfortunately, because that is a situation that you don't want to be in. That was I jumped in on. I mean, that's what we call a bull fake out. And there's a lot of different terms for it, but basically, when you get a move that pops up and everybody sees it as a breakout above resistance, and then it immediately the next candle comes down, that is typically faking out bulls and will end up dropping. So you got to be careful. Not every time. I mean, it may end up holding up right here and shooting back up. Very possible, but I just jump out at that point. Unfortunately, gave back, some of my profits, but it is what it is. I can deal with that because it just becomes very risky in that scenario. I can't tell you how many times when I've been trapped in that's the word I was looking for, a bull trap, where it breaks out and then it'll immediately sell back down. And I can't tell you how many times I've been trapped where it looks like it's breaking out and then immediately comes right back down, and then it'll have a big drop right after it. So you definitely don't want to be caught in that trap. And before you know it, it drops $1 in a minute or two. So it's not worth the risk. I trade scared, as I like to say. I try to trade very tight and keep my risk somewhat small. So when I see a move that if I see a breakout and then it's a false breakout and it gets stuffed, I just pull the plug and jump right back out of it. I'm not trying to hold through that too long. I'll wait and see and look for another breakout situation or something where it can be a little bit more confirmed, because that's just a bull trap. When it breaks out, it sells right back down. It's a bull trap. And after seeing that, it makes me feel, a little bit even more like it might sell off into open. So, and like I said, I don't like to hold through open, and we only got 8 minutes until that as well. So I was hoping to just get into, it looked like maybe we'd get that breakout going into open and it was going to run, before open, and we might get back up over the previous high. But instead it trapped back down. So now we'll see. Now it's going to try again. Now I'm a little gun shy, and I'm probably going to just wait and see what happens, because we got 8 minutes until the bell. So I don't know that I want to jump in now, unless it was just for a super quick scalp, because it's very possible that it sells off at open. It's also possible that it rockets at open. We'll see, but just very risky. And as you can see, of course, it it trapped, sold off, and then immediately recovered that. So, but hindsight's always 20/20. Like I said, I play things pretty safely. So when I see a trap like that, I just jump out. I'm not going to hold through it and end up with a big loss. So jumped back out, and I will get back in. And that's the benefit also of trading with E-Trade versus CMEG or some of the other brokers, is that it's commission free. So you can jump in and out a bunch of times and you're not getting eaten up by commissions. Going to be interested to see what happens with this thing, if it's gonna actually make a new high or not. Probably going to watch it from here till 1750. Unfortunately, it's just up there where we have the possible resistance there, the possible resistance at the high, the possible resistance at the 17 whole dollar, and at the 1750, which is the resistance on the daily chart. So there's just a lot of areas that could be resistance. Probably gonna wait on that. Okay, let's see what we got here. Looks like we got my buddy, some of the messages I'm receiving in my stock trading group. One of my friends says CCIV's heading up, all tech is up for no reason, even with the inflation worries that are all over the news right now today. Stocks are moving up, tech stocks. I won't complain about that. That's what I like to hear. Keep going up. We don't need rhyme or reason for it to go up, or logic, just as long as you go up. I had CCIV for a long time, by the way, so it's a little bit annoying that I had that forever, and it just kept fading, and finally I cut it when I decided it probably wasn't coming back in the near future, and then right after that, of course, it starts curling up. So that's just the way it works. Sometimes your swing doesn't work until you get out of it, and then boom, it heads up without you. Kind of like this one here. It was a bull trap. I get out, and then it, quickly recovers and heads back up. So now we're testing that high of day, but the problem is we're only 5 minutes till open. So, probably just gonna hold off on that. TAWNF looking to move the day. It's looking like CLOV so far is going to be the one to watch. TAWNF. So yeah, okay, we gotta. Looks like that thing's had some crazy moves in the past. And starting to curl up a little bit. I can see what you're saying there. Yeah, it could get a little. If it got a little volume in there, that thing could end up making a move. Typically, I don't trade the stocks that are under $1 too often, but sometimes I will. There are definitely times where I'll take that. Looks like possible resistance around 50 cents. So, but yeah, one to watch. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll check it out. BB's another one I've been watching. Had crazy volume yesterday. CLOV. So yeah, let's see. Kind of wishing I'd held there, but that's how it goes. I trade scared and I got out. Just in case, because a lot of times when you see that bull trap like that candle right there, and then followed by a red engulfing candle, a lot of times that'll be followed by a big drop. So I bailed on it, possibly a little too soon, because now it's recovering. I'd like to have that entry back, but it is what it is. Kind of looking at my stock group here real quick. Bear with me before open. Checking this out. Thanks for hitting the like button. Those of you who hit the thumbs up, I appreciate that. Subscribe, comment, all that wonderful YouTube algorithm stuff if you haven't already. Thank you. Okay. So there we go. We're almost there. It's almost time. What do we got going on? We got well, there we go. So I'm just going to kind of watch, see what we got here. A few more seconds until market open. It's almost time. Almost time, folks. And let's see what we got here. So we had a really quick flush on BB, and then it's coming back up. So I'm watching that. CLOV. I don't know what's happening with this or why we're not seeing anything going on here. What is happening here? Next is moving up. That one's not doing anything. Look at her fly. She's flying. Don't want to go too crazy on this thing now because it will get halted and then you'll end up in a halt, waiting for it to unhalt on the way down. Gotta wait for a pullback if you want to trade it, in my opinion. Don't want to chase it. It is going to get halted at some point, probably, the way that it's flying. So let's see what we got here. Sorry if I'm a little bit quiet. I'm trying to look at some different scenarios here. So yeah, we got a nice pullback there, but pulling back almost too much. Let's see here. Yeah, we're getting a pretty big. It's giving back too much almost now. We went all the way to almost 19. We're all the way back down to 1750. That's a pretty significant pullback slash crash almost. If you look at our 5-minute candle here, our 5-minute candle's crazy. It's way up here and then it's given back almost the entire 5-minute candle. So 17.30 by so there we're back to almost. I just did a real quick little bounce from there. Just 100 shares because of how fast it moves, and I don't want to take a big loss and screw up my day. The goal is to make 300 a day, and I had gotten down to 200. I was at 258, got down to 200, so then I just took 100 shares real quick on this bounce. Looked like it was bottoming, got in there, and then took it off at VWAP. So just a tiny little piece of a bounce right there, and got me back to 241. So yeah, back closer to where I was before I took that little bitty loss on that one try on the breakout down there. Now we're gonna go down farther here, it looks like, and we'll be looking for maybe another bounce, perhaps. This would have been the spot right there, 1694. I didn't get it, so not sure about that. Might try it again. Nope, we've already passed that. So now maybe looking at somewhere around 1658, perhaps. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. This is what I like to do a lot of times on a play like this, where it's given back most of its gains. Sometimes I'm just looking for the next possible bounce spot. And again, I don't take too big a size because you don't know if this is going to end up being a giant drop here. It could drop $1 a share real quick if it breaks below this support and gets somebody that sells big position, or get a big short in there or something. Could drop big. So you got to be careful with it. Anything that can move as fast as this can, so small size with it. Now it's probably going to go back up here, so I could buy the break of VWAP if it breaks VWAP, but it's going to be such a quick trade. If so, I'd be selling just probably up to close to 18 if it breaks VWAP, and so far it looks like it got rejected by that, so that's a no. And now my buy down here is probably not going to work at this point. We'll leave it on though, because it's right at that 50 moving average, so perhaps we get filled there. Leave it on for the moment. And let's see here. Just kind of watching. I think I'm going to take it off because the bounce plan's kind of not happening at the moment. Didn't jump down and pop back up like I was thinking. So now it's probably going to do it. Now that I just took the trade off, now it may end up going down there. But it looks like our 50 moving average is right around where I was looking for that possible bounce play. And this is what I do. I can't even see if you guys are chatting with me right now because I'm kind of focusing on the trades and the stocks and how they're moving at the moment. But yeah, this is kind of what I do. I look for little micro moves, try to anticipate where it will bounce, or if there's a breakout, I'm trying to anticipate the breakout, and just taking real small pieces of moves unless I see a good setup. If I see a really good setup, then I'd be taking a bigger position. But at this point, no real solid setups that I'm seeing, so it's more of just quick scalps. And like again there, it broke VWAP for a second, looked like it might be promising, but it was just a bull trap as it quickly sold right back down below VWAP. So not too exciting as far as good solid setups go. It's just kind of an odd chart. We don't have a good setup. If it can keep holding this area, then I would not be surprised to see it actually reclaim VWAP and then head back up in the 18s. That could happen, so we'll see. But it needs to kind of hold this area of consolidation that it's holding right now. I definitely don't want to see it break down here below the 50 moving average and get down into the 1630s again. But if it can hang up here in the 1730s and then end up breaking VWAP, we could end up seeing a move to the upside. Let's see what else is going on here. Looks like BB ended up breaking down. Let me check back over in the chat here, see if you guys have said anything, if I got anybody hanging out in here. I do not. That sound means, those of you who are watching this, thanks for hitting the like button if you get the chance. Hit the thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate that. Let me see here. What's happening here? Why do we have something? Something must have stopped out on me because I lost some money. Yeah, I must have had some stocks stop out that I had on swing trades. Not cool, you know, not cool. Looks like some stuff is selling off too. PXS was just a speculative swing that I looked at, and Tesla looks like I got 15 shares of right now. Pretty big sell-off on that. That's unfortunate. I was hoping it would continue up, but it happens. Looks like it wants to fill its gap there on the daily chart, filling its gap right there. So whatever, that's okay. And looks like we probably stopped out of, let's see what we stopped out of. Why are you not showing my stuff? Yeah, it looks like we stopped out a coin and we stopped out maybe of another one. So I had a couple of swings that appear to have stopped out. Looks like my coin, yeah, my coin stopped out. I had that set pretty tight because it's a recent IPO. There's really no basis. There's not a good amount of history to go off of. So you're kind of just hanging out there in no man's land. So I bought like 10 shares of it yesterday, looking to see if maybe it would get a good bounce. Instead, it's headed down, so that's fine. And it's a very speculative play, just like PXS, where no real solid setup or anything, just a feeling that it's oversold and might have a move to the upside. Sometimes I will do that on swing ideas. Unfortunately, though, it killed my. I was trying to get my $300 goal today, and now it set me back another $50. So I have to make that up somewhere else if I get the chance. Let's see. Bum 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 bum. What are you guys watching? Anything you guys are seeing out there? Looks like, let's see. We had some halts on Vera and Hook. Sometimes I like that sound you heard probably a minute ago. If you're listening, that the sound you heard was the sound of a stock getting halted. I changed some of my, there it was right there. I changed some of my sounds so that way I know exactly what a specific sound means. So next just got halted on the way up. Okay. That's heating up. That's getting interesting. 15 million shares traded, so not really all that many shares traded. And we got past that resistance that I was talking about at the $5.11 area. So that's pretty cool. Typical halts will last 5 minutes for a volatility halt. If it gets halted several times, then sometimes you'll end up with a longer volatility halt. Or it will be halted for an indefinite amount of time, sometimes while the company puts out news or puts out a press release saying we have no idea why the stock is up so much and being halted. That is not a good scenario to be in, because that means it's about to drop like a rock when it comes out. So we're getting up into quite a bit of consolidation over here. It's not ideal. So it's going to come out of the halt, and then unfortunately it's got all this consolidation that it's going to get up into that could act as resistance. So it's unfortunate. I would much rather see it with blue sky ahead, but it doesn't mean that it can't keep going. It may bust right out of there and just keep going. We'll see. If I was going to guess, I'd say it might have some trouble with this area, but we'll see. Let's see what the news is on it. Do we have a catalyst? Let's see. Price targets raised to $9 a share. Raised to outperform. Raised to 9 from 3. Outperform. So it looks like just a bunch of price targets raised. And analyst predictions. So not the strongest of catalysts. Let's see what else we got here. Hook. So Hook is sold off massively and then halted on the way down. And it is now, let's see, are we halted? No. Looks like it's going again. It's unhalted. Not sure why it's had such a huge down time. Let's see. Data shows unprecedented T-cell response, favorable tolerability, pulmonary efficacy. So it seems like good news, but apparently not good enough news. So that's the problem with biotechs, is that sometimes you might think it's good news, but the people that actually know what they're talking about know that it's not so good news, and it will drop. Looks like Jan just halted, so take a look at that. That's interesting. So this one has a history of spike and fade, spike and fade, spike and fade, spike and fade. So it just repeatedly spikes and then fades right back down. So that's what we can probably expect this time. It's just a matter of how high will it spike before it fades. But yeah. Oh, let's see. We did have news. Advances toward initiation of phase 2B peripheral artery disease trial. So it does have a catalyst, and it has a history of flying. So that might be one to jump on. Maybe we'll grab 100 shares on that whenever it becomes unhalted. If you have hit the like button, I appreciate that. Looks like we only got a couple likes, so come on, guys, hit the thumbs up for me. Let's get a bigger group in here. Let's get some folks in here and chat it up. It's so much more fun when we get a bunch of people in here chatting and talking about what's going on. Let's see, where did Clove end up? I'm kind of moving around here. So Clove is back up, pushing 18 bucks. That is crazy. It would have been a heck of a dip buy down there on the let's see what we got. Interesting. Come on, Tesla. You need to pull your weight. Get back up there. Get back up in the 620s at least. Preferably the 650s or 700s, but at least the 620s where you were a little bit ago. Let's see what we got for Clover here. Look at her go. Interesting chart on CLOV, so that's kind of what I'm looking at the moment. Is that, I mean, it's a pretty strange chart, and it spikes up, gives it all back, then goes all the way below VWAP and below the 50 moving average, then out of nowhere rockets back up through that and through all of this resistance and back up in near $18. So okay, that's interesting. What's scary about this stock is these drops. I mean, that's a scary drop. So when you're thinking about buying it up here, it's got to be in the back of your mind that there's no real setup here. It's kind of just all willy-nilly, all nimbly-bimbly all over the place here with the chart. So not exactly something that makes me feel real comfortable buying it when you got a stock that's not a solid setup. So it could very easily drop. We're going to see if it's going to break past that high right there or not, the 1820 area. Is it going to make it or not? But either way, I mean, even if it gets up here, it's hard to buy this when you got this these big red candles here where it can wipe out all the gains, and you don't want to be caught on the wrong side of that, buying it up here and then have a big red candle that sells off. It just kind of seems like there's a lid on it right there at 1820 at the moment. We'll see. But even so, just not a very good technical setup right here. We don't have much of a setup that we're looking at. And again, right there, that was kind of a bull trap. See how it popped through? Everybody knew that right there was that was the level of resistance. There was 820, kind of a wall, and it pops through, and it trapped probably quite a few people thinking, boom, it's going up, and they bought. And then what does it do? It pulls back down. So I'm not a big fan of these stocks when they trap you like that. And this one has already done it a couple of times today. So let's see what else we got going on here. It's got to be something else exciting to trade here. Oh, let's see what we got here. Trying to find something else hot and moving. Anything else hot and moving? Come on, what do we got? What do we got? Jan, that was the one. Don't want to lose my Jan. Looks like this one's starting to come down a little bit. Yeah, as expected. I remember when I was saying moments ago that it seemed heavy and like it was trapping kind of up here, and then sure enough it comes down. But it is not crashing. That's a good sign. So it is coming down, but it's not crashing. Hopefully it will hold up here and hold above VWAP. But I want to check out Jan because that was one that I felt like might have potential to be a mover. Let's see. We don't even have 1 million shares traded on this, unfortunately. That's the problem. This would be possibly a big mover, but we don't have any volume. Need to get some volume on Jan here. Come on, Jan. I'm tempted to buy it here, but yeah, this is what happens when you don't have any volume. You get tempted to buy it, but then if there's no volume, then it doesn't take much at all to take it right back down where it came from. This stock could have a decent catalyst and end up right back down in the mid sevens because it just doesn't have the volume. Very unfortunate. Let's see what we got for next. I got people messaging me a lot, so I don't know if that means that there's exciting things going on here in the market or not here. Oh, CCIV sold off big after almost hitting its 28 high. DM dropped hard this morning. Not sure why. Oh, it's up $1.02. What happened to tech? I don't know what the deal is. That's in my little text group here. So we got the same bizarre chart kind of on CLOV as we have on NEXT, where it's kind of up, and then it's just a bizarre chart. This one, however, kind of holding a loose uptrend, so might be an interesting buy here because of that. But like I said, it just it makes me nervous with all of that overhead resistance. That it makes it much less likely that it's gonna overcome those things and go break out. You never know, but that's just the way it seems to me. Anything else moving here? Oh man, we got GME is on the scanner. GME on the scanner. Holy moly. It's back up over the 300s. Craziness. That thing is crazy. Am I going to get crazy and buy it? Let's see what we got here. World Bank warns of widening inequity amid fastest global economic rebound in 80 years. I get finance alerts on my phone, so it's always good to read those. You kind of know where the market sits as a whole. Stocks open mostly higher. S&P 500 trades within striking distance of all-time highs. Damn straight it does. Man, I'm tempted to buy this GME up here, even though it seems crazy, but I feel like it could have one more leg in it. Remember what I talked about, having a lot of times three legs, and we got the first and the second. So I'm not going to be shocked if we get another move here up to the 350-ish area. So maybe I don't know. I don't know if I want to take that risk or not. Maybe just like 10 shares or something. Now it's looking more like it's going to drop. At this point right now, it's looking like it could drop. Let's see. It's all about learning to read this. It's hard. You can't ever get it perfect, but you just learn probabilities and how to read it the best you can. And the more you stare at charts, the better you get at kind of reading what it might do. And again, just like I anticipated, it did end up dropping. I was looking to maybe buy right there on that pullback. Then I said it looks like it may be getting ready to drop, and it did. And the reason I was feeling that is because you could tell watching the chart, but also on level 2, you could just tell that it seemed like there was a little bit of a wall that it was having trouble breaking there. Was looking like it was heavy and that it was going to end up falling off. So sure enough, it did. On the 5-minute chart, though, this is the first red candle we have on the 5-minute chart. So might be a buy in this area. Maybe like, oh no, you've gone too fast now. Come back down on me. I was too slow. See how fast you got to be there? It's too slow. I was thinking, hey, this is the first red candle. If I can get in on the bottom of that red candle down there, maybe that'll end up being an okay pullback. And then it gets me. So I'd much rather buy it, at the bottom of the first big red candle on the 5-minute chart. Would be much safer entry on a stock like this. The stock can move, quite a bit. Move $10 in no time. So even only 10 shares. I was thinking about buying 10 or 15 shares. Well, that's that candle right there is a $10 candle. So within a minute, you could lose $150, $100. Not that that's a ton of money, but the goal is to make 300, not wipe out the almost 200 I have with one bad move on GME. So the safer the entry, the better. It's looking more and more like it may keep pulling back, but let's see if I put a stop at 324 or something, maybe. Let's just try. Let's see what we got here. We got, oh my goodness. Now that's part of the problem is we have the market selling off majorly. So the market was pushing all-time highs. This is a SPY ETF, the S&P 500 ETF. We were pushing all-time highs. Fantastic, right? And then the bell rings and boom, nothing but plummeting. So that would be why we have these odd looking charts. I'm gonna go ahead and take a trade at let's see, 320. I don't know. Now we passed that first 5-minute red candle. Now we're getting into this one. Maybe 327. I think I'm gonna take it right there. And then just put a stop at 324.95. So if she keeps dropping, we'll just stop out with a very small loss. And if it rockets up like I think it has the potential to do, we will see. Volume is fading, so maybe it's not going to happen. Very possible that it's not going to happen, but it does have the chance to do it. There we go. There we go. You can do it, girl. And then what I'm going to do is get ready to... Oh, no. If we can get back over 330, oh, it might not happen. It might be gonna fade. See, that was kind of my chance there, I think. Now we're gonna stop out. Yeah, now we're gonna stop out, unfortunately. Gotta be fast. Gotta be fast on there. That was the chance, and I could have, you know, you saw me typing it there. I was gonna try to get out at 330 there and just take that nice little $30-some quick win. But yeah, that's how it goes. In the time that I was typing it in there and trying to get her in, it dropped and stopped me out. So oh, why did it not stop me out? Not cool. Not cool. Hello. Should have stopped me out, but okay. Whatever. Now we're just looking to get out of it, so don't really know what happened with it, but and it might have continued to go up, but that's the moral of the story is always to trade your plan. My plan was, it looked like it was basing right there and forming a flag. You would have your pole and then your flag here, which a lot of times is followed by a big move up. So that was the plan, and then I actually set a stop loss, or so I thought, just below that, to where, you know, if it broke that, it would stop me out for a very small loss. Instead, somehow that stop loss didn't happen, and the plan broke down and it came down, and then at that point I just get out of it. I don't know why the stop didn't work, but just cancel all orders, put a market order, and just jump out of it. It's a very small, it was a very small shot I took anyway, so no big deal, but it was worth a shot. It was a good sound plan. If you look at thank you so much for watching and the likes and everything. Appreciate that. So if you look at what we had here, we had our nice flag pole, and then our flag, and then it goes up again. So you have another thing, and then we had what we'd have another flag perfectly right here, and then what we were looking for was another move up. So that's why I bought where I did. I was looking for that third leg up. When that didn't happen, that's when you just stop and get out of it. And it still could happen now. I mean, maybe we get a bounce and a big move up. GME is very unpredictable, but anyway, we did have a pattern, a possible setup that I liked. So went ahead and gave it a shot. Didn't work out. It is what it is. Moving on. So let's see what CLOV is doing. We'll jump back over. And right now, I think what we're seeing is a victim. Everything is just a victim of the market selling off. When you have this pretty good sized market sell off, that puts a lid on everything that you had going. Everything you had going for you that was kind of moving up ends up having trouble, because every time it's trying to make a move up, the market overall will be selling off. And as we know, or maybe some of you don't know, 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market. Roughly 75 to 80% of stocks follow the market. So if you get everything moving down, the stocks all moving down, then the ones that you're trying to get breakouts on and trying to be playing for momos end up being drugged down by all the other stocks. So it's very unfortunate, but it happens. A lot of times the down days in the market are boring days to trade in the momentum stock world. Got another like. I appreciate that thumbs up so much. Thank you so much. Let's see what we got here. Sorry, Jamie, I just seeing this. I got hit, stopped out on close by a few cents on that dip. That's trading. Yep, exactly. All you can do is have a plan and execute it and cut it when it doesn't work. It's what I try to tell all my followers and anybody that I talk to about trading, is just always have a plan. That's the number one thing. You got to have a plan, even if it's a plan that you came up with in your head within a few minutes before making the trade, or seconds. But have a plan, and when it doesn't work, cut it. Because if you have a plan and it doesn't work and you don't cut it, that's when you start getting into the holding and hoping scenario. If you've been trading very long at all, you know what I'm talking about. That's when you end up down a large percentage of your portfolio, and it's never fun. So let's see. We got BB. That's interesting. BB looks like it dropped way down and then recovered. Now it's up there in the $17 range. So check that out. Check out Next as well. And CLOV at this point would be more of a short for me. Whoops. If I was looking at this on a day that the market is going down, and I'd be looking at this and how it's not really making new highs, it's kind of moving sideways and looking weak, fading volume. This is the kind of stocks that you'd be looking to short. So not as much of a long at this point. It still could spike up. You never know. We'll see. But at this point, it's just not too exciting. It's not doing what we want it to do. It's unfortunate. Not getting the action we wanted. NEXT. What are we doing here? Let's see. So this one got halted on the way up, and that pretty much killed it. It made a slightly higher move and then has faded since. So unfortunately, that one pretty much dead at the moment. Maybe it bounces off a VWAP, stays above VWAP, and continues up. It could. It's worth watching, but we'll see. Not going to hit my $300 goal today. It's looking more and more like I'm not going to hit my $300 goal today unless something gets to moving, because right now the momentum world is just kind of dying because of the market fading down. So let's see. Maybe BB can be my baby. Maybe this one can go head up for me. Let's see here. Kind of watching it. Sorry. I'm getting real tired. Didn't sleep a whole lot last night. Fading away. I got stuck watching TV late after I put the kids to bed. And before I knew it, it was only a couple hours until pre-market opened. So here I am, tired. And I need to mow the lawn today. Got lots to do today. Not feeling real motivated now that I'm tired. BB, I was thinking about going short up there at 17, and there I was zoning out and didn't do it. Kind of regretting that now. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's see what we got here. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Oh. Just feeling pretty tired. Oh, let's see what we got. Anything else moving in here? We got 3 likes so far. Got a few of you in here watching. So if you haven't already, if you don't mind, hit the little thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. Let's see what we got moving over here on the scanner. And this is the scanner I'm kind of watching right here, just so you guys can see it. Up here I've got my halts. So right here you can see it says halts. These are stocks that have been halted, so I can click on that. JAN is one that was halted. It looked like it might really fly. Had a catalyst, but ended up it just doesn't have any volume, so it came all the way back down. It is a very small float, so it had the potential, I thought, perhaps could really fly. It just doesn't have the volume, so it's unfortunate. Next was another one that got halted. Looks like it's maybe starting to curl if you look at the 5-minute chart here, so it could be one to watch. We'll see. Maybe take a small position on that. Let's see. It's 122 million float. LOTZ was another one. I've seen several people mentioning that. Looks like it might be actually breaking out, so I'll have to click over and check that out. CARV moving up. So LOTZ, I want to check that one out for sure. Check out Next and check out LOTZ. Workhorse and GME. These are all ones that I want to check out. So let's see what we got here. LOTZ, yeah, okay. So we gotta change this horrible music. Whatever music is going on here is terrible. Terrible. I need something going on in the background, but not that. That is horrible. Need some kind of music happening. Let's see, we got that. This one looks like it's kind of maybe Heading up. Okay. That's interesting. This is the one I said has a ton of resistance, though. Yeah, see? Not that exciting. Why's it gotta be you, NEXT? I'd rather see a different one breaking out. Let's see something else. Let's see. Whoops. CLOTZ. What are you doing? You're kind of coming back down. Not ideal. And your daily chart looks pretty terrible. So, don't love that either. It's just not any, nothing that I'm seeing really today that's a big, high-flying money maker that I can, that I see a great setup on that I can sink a big bunch of money in and just let it ride for several minutes. I'm not seeing that anywhere. Kind of a boring day as far as the momentum world here. Jan. Looks like Jan's had a little bouncy, but still ain't. No. Guess it was just E-Trade being ignorant, so it wasn't as much of a bounce as I thought. But it did go almost to $9, but it's all the way back down because, again, it just doesn't have any volume. Only 1.1 million shares of volume. Not good enough. Hook heading down more. Getting more downside on Hook. Let's see what else we got here. We got a Carve. That one's going pretty good, and we're getting past a lot of the resistance over here. It's good. That is good. Let's see. Zoom out a little bit here. Okay. Do we have a catalyst? Nope, I don't see a catalyst, so not ideal with no catalyst and only 1.1 million shares of volume. So again, very low volume. Not what we're looking for. Workhorse. How about Workhorse? Workhorse daily chart, not ideal. So probably not going to be in on that one. Looks like it doesn't have a catalyst. I'm not seeing a catalyst on that either, other than a couple days ago it got downgraded, which would be a negative catalyst. So I'm not liking that. GME. Oh, my GME little buy would have worked. Looks like that would have been a nice little buy because I basically just sold it. Market sold out of it down almost at the bottom there when my plan didn't work out. I was looking for a flag, didn't get a flag, so I got out of it. That makes sense, but if you look at it now, hey, it would have worked out a little better if I'd have held it. If instead of following my plan, I would have just held it and hoped, then it would have actually worked out. But the problem is, if you're brand new to stock trading, holding and hoping works out a lot of the time. But it only takes one time of it not working to blow your account up. I was just talking to a buddy of mine the other day about that he's down, dare I say it, he's down, and he, he's not a rich person, so he's down $12,000 on one single stock, and that is because he didn't have a plan, and he just kept holding it and hoping, and there's been so many times that when he has held it and hoped, that it would go up, and that was his strategy. It has worked. So you kind of learn that bad habit. But the problem is that there will, sooner or later, there will be a stock that does not come back, that doesn't go back in your favor when you hold and hope it, and it'll just keep going against you. And that's when you have the problem. When holding and hoping works out a lot of the time and you get that bad habit, the problem is the one time it doesn't work, it'll blow your account up. It only takes one time for it to just keep going down, for it to blow your account up, or to keep going up if you have it short. So it's just it's a dangerous game, the holding and hoping, and it unfortunately it works quite a bit, which gives people bad habits of doing it all the time. And sooner or later it destroys their account. It's a sad deal. He has not destroyed his account yet because I think it's actually working out again for him this time. Because I think it's BB that he's holding, and I think it's just keeps coming up. So he's probably gonna escape this one as well. But sooner or later, there's one that doesn't work, and that's the only one it takes. VLDR. Now this one is interesting. Okay, VLDR. That's interesting. Just a steady climb, and we got on the 5-minute chart. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So we got 9 out of 11 green candles on the 5-minute. Just a perfect steady climb from around $10 to 12. So that's an interesting scenario. And if you look at the daily chart, we got a lot of room to grow. We got a lot of overhead resistance and consolidation. So not ideal on the daily chart, but the fact that it is curling up, so it could very easily go up to 14. I wouldn't be shocked if it got to 14, but it needs to have some kind of healthy pullback here before it can possibly do that, in my humble opinion. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna have to go and take a nap before long. Let's see. I've been trying to short over here in this other account, shorting BB a little bit, which is working out fairly nicely. So that's good. Let's see. So bear with me as I'm trying to decide exactly where to get in and out of this position here. Is the market selling off here? Let's see what we got. Let's see here. We got in there at average price 17.02. Okay, that's great. Setting the stops in here. Where 16.71. We're gonna put that in there, and then we're gonna put in 200 of those at 16.82. Okay, that's great. That's just working great. And we've, as of now, we've already made over our $300 goal for the day if I were to realize profits right now on my other account. But I'm going to probably let it ride a little while longer, see what we can make happen here. So I think it's got more left to go here. I think it can go. I think we can get more out of it. I really do. 1642. I think we can get. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, just keep running down for me here. Keep on running down for me here, stock. I appreciate that. Yeah, so anyway, sorry about that. Bear with me. Trying to do some actual trading here. I can show you what I've got going on. Those of you watching here, I'll show you what I got going on here. So basically, I've been shorting BB. Show that to you over here. So BB, I was shorting it up here at 17, so it looked like it was having trouble with 17, the way that it popped through and shot back under. And then again, these 3 5-minute candles, or if you look at the 1-minute candles, you can see that repeatedly in that 1710 area, it was having a difficult time. So I went short with a small position, nothing too exciting, at just at let's see what my average is, 1705. So my average is 1705. So perfectly right up here at the top. Went short, just small position, and then I've been holding that. So I'm hoping that we get a more downside. We'll see. It looks like it's gonna end up stopping me out. I'm protecting profits, so I've got my stops in place to protect my profits, because I don't want to lose all the profit that I've made on that. Trying to get to my $300 day, and now actually I should have protected more profits, because I'm not going to get my $300 day unless it heads down more. If it stops me out up here, then it's not gonna work for me, but we shall see. Hopefully don't stop me out there, you silly stock. Just, you got a lot more downside in you. I know you do. You can just go on down for me. That'd be fantastic. Let's see what we got here. 220. Putting my stops in here. Yeah, so hopefully we're gonna get a decent, we should see another move to the downside here at some point. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. We'll just let that one play out. Let's see what we got. GME. How are we doing with GME? See, that would have been a beautiful. I should have held that. That's the that's the move I was looking for. It didn't go as high as I had hoped. I would have thought that it would have, gone up at least in the 350 range. And I was looking for that move to happen back here in the flag area, what would have been a bull flag. But for some reason, ended up going sideways quite a ways before we got the poke up. So, it is what it is. You can't predict everything. All you can do is play the odds and the probabilities and whatnot and get out of the way when it's not going your way. So, it happens. Looks like, turns out that it would have been a win had I held it, but as I talked about before, I don't want to hold and hope because that's not a good strategy, and eventually that would lead to bad things. So, plan didn't work out. The flag did not develop on through, so I had to get out of the way. Looks like we're going to be coming up on possible resistance in the 348.90 area, so basically just under the 350. And as I've talked about multiple times today, these are the things that you learn over time as a stock trader, that there are ways to predict things. So for instance, this stock, the high of the day is, it's going to be below where this resistance point is here. So you got this previous high here that's going to have the resistance at, what's it at? Let's see what we got. 348.50 perhaps. So if we look at today's stock, we have not made it past that. We've topped out just below that. So predictable at this point, and then we'll probably see at some point, hopefully we'll retest that area, and then 350, because it's a round psychological barrier, it could end up slowing it down there, but if it breaks through that, then look out, it's probably going to 400 after that. Definitely one to keep an eye on. This thing it's a nutty meme stock, so you never know where this thing can go. Excuse me. And it looks like this BB is headed back down some, so that's very good. I'm going to take another 100 off on this at down here, 1655. Whoops. If we get filled there, we'll see. It looks like it's going to go down a bit before that's going to happen. It may not happen, or it may. We'll see. Are you going to get down to my 1650? It might not. Oh yeah, you're probably going to get down there. It looks like you're going to get down there. And that's good. There we go, yeah. Got that filled. Looking good, looking good. So now we're going to look for it to have some more downside. Beautiful, beautiful. Need to get down here to 1640 perhaps. 16.40. One maybe. We'll look at that as a possible buy point, and it may get there, it may not. We'll just have to wait and see. And what I'm watching now is just to have you guys on the same page. Anybody that's watching this, I've got that short on and it looks like right there. I'm gonna probably take it off on that blue line there, that 50 moving average, because it looks like that may be where it has an issue. Yeah, there we go. So perfect. So what we ended up doing on that is a short on that, as you can see, 169.45, and we've got 153.05 there. So the goal, my daily goal, is $300 a day. 300 a day keeps the real job away. If you add up this 169.45 plus 153.05, you have 322.50. So passed my daily goal of $300 in profits per day. So it feels pretty good. Meeting the goal today. I met the goal, so that's pretty good. And I may actually reshort BB if it looks like there's an opportunity, because if you look at the daily chart down here, what we've got is basically a doji candle today. Let's zoom in just a hair. Actually, I might just bring it up on a bigger chart, show you guys what I'm seeing. OCGN looks like it was on the move today, so that's good. Let's see what we got here. We got BB. So here's Blackberry, and if we look at the daily chart here, we can see that over here we've got resistance, possible resistance at 1664 on this candle and this candle. Each one of these candles represents 1 day. So if you look at the daily chart over here, we had a nice big move up, and then it kind of faded back. This time we had to move up and it faded back, but it ended up holding up a little better here. So we got a little bit of a second little pop. And now my anticipation is just to watch it, but I would expect that it heads down again, but you never know. So it could end up with opportunities to the long side or to the short side. So kind of watching it and just seeing, if it ends up over the 1660s, 1670s, gets back up in there, maybe it ends up being bullish, but I would guess that the market is holding it down. If you look at the market, the overall market here, you can see that the market started to try to climb back up, but it ended up fading back down. And when that happened, same situation with BB. So like I talked about, 3 out of 4 stocks, or roughly 75 to 80% of stocks, follow the market. So when you got the market fading down like that, you can look at BB, and you can see that it too was fading down. So it becomes a lot more difficult for stocks to fight the market and continue up. So when I see the market gap up and then start fading down or pulling back, that is when my bias slightly leans more to shorting. I still like to go long, and I'm still going to be watching for momentum trades and momentum stocks, but you got to follow what the overall market is doing, because when you got the vast majority of stocks following the market, then you don't need to be fighting that trend if you don't have to. So I will always be looking on the lookout for momentum stocks that are going to be big money makers to the upside. I'm definitely watching for those. But on days like today, any time that I see that the market is having some downward pressure like this, where we've gapped up but we're moving down, then I'm looking for shorts. I'm definitely on the lookout for a good short stock, because again, it's going to probably follow the market. And if it doesn't follow the market, at the very least, the market downward pressure will make it difficult for stocks to run. So why fight it? No reason to fight it. Just go with the flow. Let's see what else is going. Let's see how my Tesla's going, because I still have some Tesla. By the way, TRCH. I just have to mention that. I'm gonna have to put that in my top group, because that's very interesting. Wow, I can't believe today Tesla was down that far. My goodness. It's back down near 600 again. Let's look and see what we got. Wow, it gaps up all the way up in the 620s, which, by the way, I did take some of my Tesla off up here this morning. So I sold some of my Tesla up here, and that I'm glad that I did that. I'm glad that I did that, because it's just following the market, just like I was just saying about stocks following the market. Well, there you go. The market's heading down, and what do you got here? You got Tesla fading, basically since the open all the way till now. It's been doing nothing but fading down, just like the overall market. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna lie, I think that's pretty frustrating. It annoys me a lot that stocks all follow the market because it doesn't make any sense. You know, what does one individual stock have to do with the overall market? In my mind, it should have very little to do with that. But it is what it is. I don't control the market. I'm gonna have to jump off of here, guys, because I see my father pulling up, and he's gonna have his crazy puppy with him, and he's bringing me some mail from when I was out of town down in Florida. So I'm gonna have to jump off here. Maybe I'll get back on in a little bit. So check back with me if you like watching these videos. Again, hit the like, the thumbs up, subscribe, comment, all that wonderful YouTube algorithm stuff if you don't mind. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll probably be back on in a little bit, but for now, my old man's showing up with his big dog, so I'm gonna go see the cute dog and get my mail and talk to my dad for a little while. And I've already hit my $300 a day goal, so it's a pretty good feeling when it's 9:40 in the morning my time, and I've hit my daily goal. So happy trading to all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you probably later on today, and if not, then tomorrow. I'm going to try to keep getting in the swing of things of staying with my YouTube channel and doing some more videos and doing a lot more live streams and trading live. So thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day. Peace out.